Hello and welcome to the Lunar Phoenix Path, where we use symbolism to help you turn embers into flame. Today, we're looking at creativity and spiritual connection, specifically through the lens of you don't need to carry this forward. This will be a general collective reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest, and move forward in a way that best suits you. Let's see what wants to come forward. You don't need to carry this forward. All right. So the Ace of Pentacles came up. New material offer, new job or promotion, new opportunity, new manifestation, resources, stability, prosperity. So right away, I'm looking at this whole new material offer, new job or promotion from a creativity sort of mind frame. Maybe you are some form of an artist and something is coming your way. I'm hearing maybe some of you are probably thinking, it's about dang time. In general, new opportunity, new manifestation. So from a spiritual connection aspect, focusing more on the new opportunity, I'm getting the vibe that what you've been doing so far, it's more like you had previously stopped feeling joyful, started feeling more like, from a spiritual aspect, whatever you were practicing felt more like a task, a responsibility, rather than something you actually wanted to do. Specifically more like maybe there were disappointments, some criticisms or expectations that are no longer serving who you are becoming. Okay? So I'm going to challenge you to use your intuition to figure out what small thing, it doesn't have to be grand, it could be if you really want it to be, but what small thing you need to tweak in order to bring in this new material offer, new opportunity, new manifestation. You get the idea. Okay, so card number 2 is generally what I consider things you may need to do, may being the operative word, to bring forth whatever this last card is telling. So 5 of Swords, we have conflict, disagreements, competitiveness, unfair defeat, winning at all costs, stress, hostility, aggression, bullying, and intimidation. From the creativity aspect, maybe not unfair defeat, but I'm hearing like an unfair advantage to a competitor. if you will. Or maybe if you're trying to sell your artwork or whatever your creative endeavors are, looking at competitiveness as well. Maybe you just, I don't know, your potential vendors or places you can sell the items, they haven't been going your way for whatever reason. Maybe you get an idea of why, and that's what kind of gives you this unfair thought process going through your mind. It's causing a lot of stress. I'm looking at the hostility, maybe some aggression on your point, and it's affecting your end product. So if that's the case for you, I would challenge like taking a breath, trying to remain calm. So the image that just popped in my head was more, I see it all the time on social media where somebody tries to sell a car, I think it's a car, and they only give it, I don't know, maybe $3,000, and the all-knowing father figure tells you to go somewhere else, and ultimately the end point that they look is like a car show, or like a car, I'm not really into automobiles like this, so like a car collector sort of person, and they find out that it may look beat up, but it's like a really old, we'll say like a Mustang, or like a, I don't know, like a Chevy, what is that, a Chevelle, or you get the idea, things that are just coming to mind. Point is, a really old classic car that people really want. It may need work, but they are willing to buy the guts of it, if you will, so they can make it their own. Maybe you are that car collector. I don't know. On that last thought, maybe instead of being the person trying to sell the thing, maybe you need to actually be the person, the car collector in that philosophy. Just for a different perspective of things. Okay, so moving on. So the spiritual connection aspect of this, which is what I was leaning more towards, in my mind. The conflict, disagreements, bullying, intimidation, hostility, aggression. I really feel that some aspect of spirituality was being forced upon you by some other person. It could be a family member, it could be, I don't know, pastor, someone who thinks they're, I'm hearing holier than thou. I don't know if that's the terminology I want to use, but the point is they think they're better than you and that you could use some improvement, and so they're forcing their ideals, yada, 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 on you, and you're just resisting it. Maybe you did enjoy it at one point and you're just not right now. Hence the hostility. They're bullying you, the intimidation. I'm hearing you need to just tell them, stop. Because if anything, if this is your case, if anything, it's pushing you further away. And I know that's not what they want. Maybe a simple, just leave me alone. mind your own business, and I'll come back to it when I'm ready, if at all. Say that last part if you dare, but it's a feeling if you add that last bit of quote, if at all, it might trigger them to retaliate, but use your own discretion. The point is, you need to, from the spiritual connection aspect of this, you need to stand up for yourself because it's not working. So, formulate this thought. Essentially, to formalize what I just said, like you need to let go of expectations that were placed on you by other people, your past, or maybe even yourself. So regardless whether this is a spiritual connection or a creativity situation, I'm hearing you need to reconnect with what genuinely sparks curiosity and joy, instead of what feels like an obligation. Okay. Possible outcome, Ace of Swords. Okay. Breakthrough, truth, new insights, new ideas, vision, focus, mental clarity, and success. Well, success is kind of self-explanatory. Breakthrough and truth, followed by new insights and new ideas. This whole top line, I feel like that's exactly what is going to happen, regardless of creativity or the spiritual connection. I'm hearing vision for the creative folks. Yeah, it could be spiritual, but I'm thinking vision is more for the creative folks and focus is more for the spiritual folks. Mental clarity regardless. Okay, so let me ask you a thought-provoking question before we go to the oracle cards. And that is, what have you continued carrying simply because you forgot that you could put it down? Now, I did have that written down beforehand, before the cards came out. So I'm going to interpret that more towards kind of what I was talking about between here. What is that ringing towards? What is it gearing towards for you? Maybe some guidance to help you find an answer if you don't have one. Healing often begins when we recognize that not everything we've been holding was ever ours to keep. Notice what feels lighter when you imagine releasing it. Okay, so that said, let's get some oracle cards. Yeah, you felt right. Okay. Want you. Okay. All right. So, Oracle cards. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Okay. So I feel, well, it could be either one, really. My initial thought was this geared towards the spiritual connection. Like there was some aspect of your past where, like, I don't know, as a child, maybe your parents forced you to go to church, and whether you believed in it or not. So the thought that came to my mind, like the alternative, so maybe you do believe in God now and you didn't then, or maybe you were being forced to believe in God and you don't, and you're either, like, I don't know, like an atheist, or maybe you classify yourself as a witch. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Buddhist comes to mind. I don't know, just throwing things out there. Kind of like throwing pasta at a wall. Whatever fits from that aspect for this situation. Okay. Creativity could be the kind of the same thing. Maybe you couldn't afford to be creative. Like maybe it was hard for your parents to, I don't know, get you a box of crayons as a child. And over the years, maybe that lack of the crayons has kind of driven, maybe you like to paint or draw or shoot, color in coloring books. I know several adults who use that as a stress reliever. Just because you couldn't, in this aspect, just because you couldn't then doesn't mean you can't now. Okay? Yes. Let it out, let it flow. Open up the heart to feel. So, from an intuition aspect, what do you feel is the right next move? That is what I feel. What opens, literally, what opens up your heart to feel joy, laughter, just overall fun. Because you have to have fun in your life. What makes your soul feel lighter? And when you figure that out, run with it. Don't let anybody hold you back. Okay, so that's about it. Whatever is surfacing for you right now, let it clarify rather than consume. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and move forward in a way that best suits you. I'll see you next time.